Hello everyone, welcome to the first edition of Poor Cooking. I'm your poor cook, Tony D. See, it's poor cooking because I'm not so great at cooking and I don't have a lot of money. See how that works? Okay, so what are we making today? We're making something I can make very easily, meatballs. So we got some eggs, parsley flakes, some Italian breadcrumbs, very important they be Italian, and we got this great deal at Target. Yeah, you can get great deals on meat at Target. Now this is all ground beef. Normally you want a mixture, but this was such a good deal. I'm just gonna go with this and put in extra breadcrumbs. And then I got some nice cheese here to shred into it. So and I might throw in some garlic and salt and pepper, which is always a good thing. So let's get this in the bowl. Okay, now I've got all the ingredients in the bowl. You see the egg and the parsley and the breadcrumbs. The key to this is, if it's too wet, add more breadcrumbs. If it's too dry, add another egg, or add more cheese. If it's a little too dry, if you really like cheesy meatballs. The parsley is not really going to absorb too much liquid. And then you got to mix this with your hands. So again, I got to put down the camera. I nearly forgot one of the ingredients I like to put in is a nice white onion, chopped very fine. That's about as fine as I can get it with the knife that I have. I really need a sharper knife, but there you have it. Okay, as you can see here, I've kneaded the meat and the ingredients. You can see the onion pieces and the parsley and maybe even some of the breadcrumbs if you can see it. This would also make a pretty okay meatloaf. It doesn't have the mixture of meats, but I had to put in, this is about 2 pounds of ground beef, and I had used 2 eggs. That was a little too much liquid. I had to put in probably like double the number of breadcrumbs you saw, which was about a half cup. So it was probably altogether it was a whole cup. I like to use Cento breadcrumbs. I like them, they're good, Italian breadcrumbs. So now I'm going to divvy this up into balls and fry them up. And you don't really need any oil in the pan because they're going to be greasy as hell. So be prepared for a greasy mess. And we'll show you that shortly. Okay, as you can see here, I got 7 meatballs on. And I got quite a few meatballs to go. But they're sizzling up nicely, you can hear that. So then you got to gently turn them. I use my hands because I don't have tongs. They're not that hot yet, by the way, obviously. I do have tongs, but they're not going to grip these yet. They're not hard enough yet. This is on medium. It's a bigger burner than this one. It's like the one that's the size of the pan bottom almost. So we're going to cook these suckers up, and then the plan is to make as many meatballs as possible. I'm going to have some for dinner with some spaghetti and sauce that I have already pre-prepared by my mother. Delicious stuff. So we're going to do that, and the rest we're going to freeze, because you can freeze the meatballs, and then anytime you want a meatball sandwich, you just pop them in the microwave, thaw them out. Delicious. I wish you could smell this. I wish this was smell-o-vision. Okay, we got our meatballs continuing to cook. I'm trying to flip them to all the places that are still pink, trying to cook them all the way through. They will cook, after you take them off the pan. They'll continue to cook because they're all heated up. But you definitely got to get all the pink cooked. And over here, I got my mom's spaghetti sauce all ready to go. Just put a little olive oil in and put the sauce in, and then put it on low, and you gotta have a wooden spoon in there, keep it from burning. And over here is my pasta water getting ready for some pasta. So this is gonna be pretty good. As you can see, there's a nice crust on these meatballs. I got most of the pink off, but since these first few I'm just gonna dump into the sauce, they're gonna continue to cook and infuse the sauce with their taste. Delicious taste. You can see some of the onions fell out, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with frying up some onions. That's just going to add to the flavor, and they fall out of the meatballs. Don't worry about it. They're a little too big. I was about as fine as I could chop them. I need a sharper knife. Okay, I got some of the cooked meatballs in my sauce. That'll make that delicious. The water's ready, but I turned it down because I'm not ready for spaghetti yet, because I'm only on round 2 of the meatballs, and it looks like I'm going to have at least most of a round 3. So, so far shaping up good. Here are the cooked meatballs. Put them on a table, a plate with a paper towel. Let the grease kind of run out of them a little bit. Let them cool off, and then throw them in a Ziploc bag. Throw them in the freezer, and I'll be eating them for months, weeks at least. I couldn't resist. I already ate one. It was a little pink inside, so now that these have sat for a while, I want to see if they're also pink. They're pretty dense. Now, just because they're pink doesn't mean they're not cooked. There's no pork in these, so. I don't know. That's looking kind of raw. Maybe I could just grill the raw side. So I grilled the raw side of that other one, and then I actually just ate the one that was a little raw. I don't think it's raw. I think it just looks undercooked because it's beef, and it cooked on all sides because the onion next to it was cooked. So I think I'm okay. Besides, most of this is going into the freezer, and I'm going to microwave it, so or recook it when I do something like this, which looks delicious. Okay, back to cooking batch 2 of the meatballs, which are shaping up. Okay, we're on batch 3 of the meatballs, and as you can see, another 7. So that's 21 meatballs for 2 pounds. That's not bad. These are a little smaller. I think I made a couple of them too big, but if it was evened out, I think you want a meatball that's slightly bigger than a ping pong ball. Excuse me. Okay, I got my pasta boiling. Need to do that for 6 minutes, or however you like it. The pilot light went out on this one, and so sauces got to heat up again. I'm going to put it on medium to speed things along. And batch 3 is coming along nicely. Batch 2 and the remains of batch 1 are here. Cool it off, and we're going to pop these bad boys in the freezer. Ooh, they're going to be delicious later. Okay, spaghetti's done. Just waiting on this 3rd batch and the gravy. And then it's time to plate and eat. Yum. Okay, so I saved a little spaghetti. I was going to leave it, but then I changed my mind after I poured the gravy on top. This is 6 meatballs and probably about half a pound of pasta. Don't judge. Very hungry. I already ate 2 meatballs. I might put some of it away for later, but for now I'm going to eat. This has been Poor Cooking. Hope you enjoyed it, and keep cooking because you got to eat. See ya. Okay, as Rick Sanchez once said, I think my eyes are bigger than my stomach on this one, Morty. I couldn't eat this whole thing. I can only eat about half of it. I'm going to put the rest away for later. But it was delicious, and the dog is barking up a storm trying to get at some, but tomato sauce is no good for doggies, as we all know.